Smoking is bad for you. You should not do it. Chapters 5 and 6. Finding the 0 point, lost in a corrupt financial system, based on numbers. While the ship sinks and is constantly patched up, in code we trust. Binary computer programs rule the cyber-industrial age. The hologram awaits, beyond the hypocrisy, when the natural science is returned to all aspects of society, including calendar transformation and political revolution. The code is nature, cosmos, Fibonacci, and binary geometric. Shall be fun explaining this lot. Now reached the midpoint, the 0 point of my book, keeping it balanced in Rosalind Glen. Spirit has always communicated to me that the full release of over-unity energy devices would require us to live by a truly fractal time system. Tapping energy from the vacuum in order to create power breaks the laws of physics, they say. Banks create money out of thin air by adding digits to a computer screen. Surely this, then, should also be against the law as well. Chapter 5. Year 1933. Conspiracy Facts. As we reach this point in this work, I'm going to take a slight detour to relate how these mystic numbers have found their way into the enactments of US Senate, debating financial resolutions, as they would like you to think anyway. I'm relying on my natural fortitude for understanding numbers, having studied accountancy at school because I was good with numbers. Yet I could not allow myself to get caught up in all the corruption and lies that these systems of financial governance produce. It's quite easy to see that their system of numbers doesn't add up. Equality is based on the mutual sharing of resources. If those said resources are not being mutually shared, then equality does not exist. Therefore, the financial system, there to maintain the equilibrium of equality, has failed. I would not have any part of their divide and conquer mentality. Instead, I studied the current system and found so many holes in it that I cannot believe that the majority of people have fallen for such a fake system of resource management. Such is the nature of thousands of years of suppression by the rich and glamorous, the demonizing of the poor. There seems a half and half cut between those with just enough, wishing to either help the poor, or those with less than them in any way they can, and the other half that idolize the rich and would do anything to become one of the glamorous rich folks. Oh dear. Apparently we live in a democratic republic, or at least a planet that's heading in that direction. Yet how can it truly manifest such an intention if there remains a gremlin in the works, the Gregorian calendar. Hypocrisy, history, has a way of repeating the same cycles over and over again until the lesson is learned. And given the time matrix under which we currently live, we're all slaves to its roots of wealth theft. Anyone been into the vaults under the Vatican recently? Perhaps had a nice cup of tea with the Queen of England and discussed how poverty could be ended in its entirety. They just play the game of being noble rulers because that's what their followers want to follow. Empty intentions that they never intend to follow through. It's very easy to see and prove that their real intentions are population reduction, a surveillance state, and more controls over each and every one of us under the umbrella of protecting us. Yet the threats from which they are protecting us are caused by their own international policies of stealing resources to prop up their overweight countries. Never do they consider that they have got it all wrong, or if they do, then after they realise, in order to really change it for the good, they would have to give up their entirely in excess lifestyles and beg forgiveness for all of the thousands of years of lies. What is left for them to do is a gradual release of information and slow retreat into obscurity. But as slow as they can possibly manage. So slow, the planet itself could be polluted beyond the point of no return before they decide it's time to pull the stopper off. And on it goes. The world management team placing bets on the future of all of us, with their weapons industry, pharmaceutical cartel keeping their pockets full to the brim with blood monies. Every war there ever was a decision made and followed, a ritual blood sacrifice in the name of hierarchical domination. Because if they didn't do it, someone else would, and they don't want to be the losers. Can't think beyond the games of us and them. And on it goes. It basically can be summed up as a major psychological problem. They make it up as they go along, and as long as they choose who gets the position of world leaders, they don't care about the laws, as the laws mean nothing. How many laws does it take before we realise we can't control what other people do with their lives? If they want to make a law that works, how about leading by example? So now here's a wee bit of mathematical lowdown on the insane policies of the pathologically unstable. Cue the introduction of the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned institution. That's pretty mental. It was sworn into law in the year 1933. 19-year for our life and time, 33 diamond matrix. Sacred. Abusing the sacred. I remember when I first found this out, it was like a dagger in the heart. They of course know the power of numbers as I have shown in the short geometry section. The 19 stands for the Metonic cycles that govern the calculation for Easter and the resurrection of the holy scapegoat, Jesus Christ. Even though he threw out the money changes. "33 stands for them being master masons, keepers of the secrets, that they themselves don't even know. They just keep them secret for as long as they can, because they fear the power of a united humanity." Essentially, the swearing in of the Federal Reserve Act put them in the position to create as much money, currency, flow, fluid cash, liquidity, like a 0 point technology that at the same time Tesla was designing in his laboratory. Free energy? Has the sun sent you bills in the post recently? For all the light shining upon this blessed realm of Mother Earth? The light mirroring the light of millions of other suns in our galaxy alone? They had to keep a tap on good old Tesla, electrical genius. So at the same time they placed another tap on the creation of the money supply, because they think there always needs to be a hierarchy and control of everything, and if not, chaos would occur. Looking around now in the year 2015, 2 years ago, we can see that this tap on the flows has really worked in maintaining a peaceful world. Not. Most folks think it's all about being connected to the removal of the gold standard, but that's just another rich person's commodity. No, the real value in the money supply is the realization that it leads to a moneyless society. Like the scaffolding builders place around a house in the process of it being created, it's necessary to create a society that learns to live together in equality. But only when the money supply is valued and seen for its our own creation. We decide how it is. However, if the true meaning is hidden from us and we think it's always going to be this way, everyone fights for as much as they can get, and no one really wins. Money supply is like the water required for sapling trees. You have to water them and plant them until they are self-sustaining. You can't rush the process, as that goes against the natural flow. In the same way, we are all potentially self-sovereign beings, and it should be the purpose of the currency to keep watering us to become the masters of whichever natural creative tasks we feel we are best at. Teacher, builder, writer, actor, designer, gardener, researcher, engineer. They all have their purpose. Which one is more valuable? Does comparing help our unified reason for existing? Does it help everyone to get where they're meant to be on their own measure of their intuition as to what their natural strengths are? And do we support each other enough to allow this to even realize this? In the dog eat dog, everyone for themselves, rat race, human race, yet to be humane is to understand the challenges of our fellow human beings and do something to alleviate the suffering. Bring us back to the basic essentials. Shelter, food, clothes, clean air, clean water, warmth. The basic essentials are all we need, and true richness is of the heart and caring. The rest is all personal choice. Society should organize itself for minimal necessities maintained by a caring and efficient population, using the most advanced, but actually known for thousands of years, technologies, so we can become planetary gardeners, not planetary slaves. A graphic I made, see the next page, to show how the current political climate can be rearranged to reflect these values of maintaining efficient society. Less jobs, more responsibility. Though I'm sure those that have to give up their lives to slave jobs won't be up for giving up their privileges. Yet the time for playing in the sand like children, that time is up. It's the government. Governmente wants more surveillance laws, when it's the governmente that is breaking the law. It's a fraud. Smoke and mirrors. World management team hiding in the shadows. Yet even they can't hide from the straight and narrow. Codes speaking volumes across time and space. No escape from the justice of Sevilla's grace. United States dissolved itself into a surveillance state. World management team followed suit back in 1933. 19-year so-called metonic cycles, actually flower of life and time. 33 degrees of the so-called master masons, actually diamond matrix grail. March the 9th, 3 times 3, they stole the power of infinity. Red planetary serpent, 8 Etznab. Sevilla speaks clear of the smoke and mirrors tactics. Bloodletting, serpent smoke. Used to be a shamanic experience of the Mayans, yet across the planet and in their midst too, it became a mass murdering bloodletting ritual. They stole infinity because they can't comprehend eternity. They can't comprehend eternity because they've never really studied the real mysteries. Only their copycat version is known to them, and keeps the truth under lock and key. Spell broken. No more lurking in the shadows for them. It's out in broad daylight for all to see. Here speak no gnosis. Who needs the administrators, traitors, anyhow? Pushing paper back and forth. On the currency, sailing ships on the currency. Oh, look, it's going under. It's in loads of debt. Re-psychotic economics. The symbol is the boat on the high seas. But who builds the boats? And if you could afford your own many ships, what happens if one of your ships goes down? As the owner, if you didn't really care about the loss of life, what would you do about it? Do you help the folks' families who died? Well, you would most likely just pay someone to build another ship, and off you go, cut your losses, and relaunch. This is actually how they run the show. They don't care. The option is always there to go bankrupt at any time, be bailed out when losses or debts are too great. As when your ship goes down, or in symbolic form goes into so much debt it can't stay afloat, it takes on too much water, or death, currency. However, having the awareness of knowing this in foresight, as in knowing this before you even build your ship, is basically a get-out-jail-free card that they always keep up their sleeves in the money game. And the world continues to be enslaved to this total lack of awareness of the maths. It's my view that they purposely make maths boring so no one learns the ropes. Holistic elementary politics. Holistic elementary politics. Elementary, elemental. Mentally elemental. 5 elements. Symbolic. Earth, water, fire, air, metal. Geometric houses. It's holistic. It's holistic. It's hologram. Hologram holistic. All-togetherness. A place for everything. Organized in a way as the symbols make sense. Symbols make sense, you know? Symbols make sense. Ah, look at that. It's the square and compass and the Zolkin. Yeah. Master Masons. 20 plus 13 equals 33. Wow, what a coincidence. What a coincidence. Ooh. So I get to play the Fool. Play the Fool. The 0 point. The 0 card of the tarot, the Fool. Yes. I'm certainly foolish for having this awareness of how things don't add up. How much incense does it take to cleanse the entire planet of this insanity? Fruit, gnosis, fruit, grapevine.